Alright guys, so I'm back again with the part 3 of the video that discusses this particular report in continuation to the two other videos which have been released so far. If you haven't watched our particular video on the parliamentary committee report, which was a study that was done by that committee on COVID-19 impacts on Canada immigration. If you haven't watched that, please head out to watch the first and the second part, and only then you will be able to understand the part 3 better, which specifically talks about the recommendations which have been made by the committee specifically related to asylum seekers and the residents of Hong Kong. Okay, so this is the part 3 which is going to be crisp and short, focus on this particular two buckets only. Now guys, before we start this video, just a quick note, my number is on the screen and in the description box. If you want to get in touch with me, please feel free to schedule a call and I would be more than happy to speak with you. If you haven't looked at our videos, if you haven't seen me before, that means you are here for the first time, and I request you to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, because we talk a lot about Canadian immigration, and if you are an aspirant, then you must be watching this particular channel all the time. So guys, what we're discussing is this particular important report which was published by the parliamentary committee, which is the standing committee on Canadian immigration related policies and everything, which actually presents a bird eye view as to what is happening and what does the committee think as with respect to the bird eye view. Now this particular report was tabled in the House of Commons on May 13, and they made a lot of recommendations. Now we have discussed a lot of recommendations in the part 1 and 2 of this particular video, but the only two sections which were left out were asylum seekers and the residents of Hong Kong. So let's just first look at what are the recommendations which have been made with respect to asylum seekers. So guys, the first recommendation that was made by the committee was that fully digitizing the immigration and asylum system. Now guys, this is very important. Okay, this is one of the biggest recommendations that they have made, and it is the first recommendation also on the chart, okay, on the report. Now I will read it through and I will explain it as the video continues. IRCC and the IRB, which is the Immigration and Refugee Board, must fully digitize the immigration and asylum system while still retaining the option for paper applications to ensure broad access to these systems. This include applicants in all streams to submit applications electronically, submit documents and signatures electronically, that means no wet signatures, and follow up with paper documents in the event of application discrepancies. Third, to be interviewed virtually. Fourth, to be issued visas electronically. Okay, this was the biggest and the first recommendation, and I think it is really important. And the best part is that in the recent budget, the Canadian immigration has decided to spend a lot of money on digitizing, modernizing the particular immigration system. Make it more transparent, make it more user friendly and everything. And I think this is in that lines. So yes, they have given more insights in the report, but this is the broad recommendation. The second recommendation was to prioritize family reunification processing for protected persons recommendation. Now the Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada, which is IRCC, prioritize the processing of family reunification applications where family members are classified as protected persons. Okay, now what really happens is, if you claim a refugee or if you claim protection, if you're an asylum seeker for Canada, then you obviously can sponsor your family members who are abroad as well. So what this particular recommendation says, in case of asylum seekers, you must prioritize that, because the people who are outside also are at a risk. So you must prioritize that and get them to Canada as soon as you can. Permitting the entry of asylum seekers. Now the IRCC and the CBSA, where possible and in partnership with all the relevant resettlement partners, including UNHC for refugees, permit refugees to enter Canada regardless of their country of origin and nationality, while requiring them to comply with public health requirements. So they are saying, have all the checks and balances in place, work with the relevant partners overseas, get some pre-screened profiles and pre-screened refugees and get them to Canada ASAP, and permit their entry of asylum seekers to Canada so that they can continue while the decisions are being taken. Okay. Now the next is the recommendations of budget for Hong Kong, the residents of Hong Kong. Now we all know what has been going on there, and they are recommending. There are 4 recommendations with respect to the residents of Hong Kong. First one, creating a more accessible temporary residence option for Hong Kong. That in response to the increasingly dangerous situation in Hong Kong, IRCC create an open work permit aimed at Hong Kong foreign nationals with moderate language and education requirements. Okay, now they are saying create an open work permit. However, open work permit is not an option for anybody to just apply for. You need to be eligible under a particular category, but the committee says just open it for Hong Kong residents. Okay. Create a 5-year PGWP, a postgrad work permit for students from Hong Kong. They are saying create a 5-year PGWP aimed at Hong Kong foreign nationals who study or have studied in Canada. Okay. Create a Hong Kong extended family reunification stream. The IRCC create a family reunification stream for Hong Kong family members, including extended family members of Canadian citizens and of pro-democracy activists living in Canada. Okay, so they are saying create that particular extended family reunification stream, get them to Canada if they can, when they can, ASAP. Okay, developing a Hong Kong source country asylum stream. Okay, now asylum, obviously protected person stream. They are saying create one. I am going to read it through. IRCC implement a temporary public policy to address Hong Kong refugee claims and grant asylum to pro-democracy activists within Hong Kong only. Okay, using initiatives such as Rainbow Railroad as a model in order to discreetly identify and support asylum seekers. So now we all know, guys, Hong Kong has been in a dangerous spot. After they want to be pro-democracy. Okay, they want to get rid of what is there in the political system, and that's why it's under fire. Okay, I mean, like, they are relieving a lot of flag. So what the immigration committee, the parliamentary committee says is that create a separate stream for these activists, create a particular stream where they can be sourced out of that particular country and be taken to safety in Canada, quickly, and so that their lives are much more safe. So guys, this was it with regards to this particular report that we were discussing. I think the parliamentary committee has conducted a deep level study. They have taken recommendations from a lot of people, from a lot of immigrants, lawyers, stakeholders. Everybody has been involved in this particular, they have taken opinions of everybody, and then only they have compiled this report, tabled it to the House of Commons. I think they have done a good job, except a lot of them are good recommendations, a lot of them are controversial ones, a lot of them are against as to what has been happening so far in the immigration historically with respect to IRCC and the policies. But we don't know, because IRCC, like I said, is not obligated to take up all the recommendations of this particular study, but they will be providing a response within 120 days, and let's hope it's positive. At least they pick up something and do, while they are doing a lot of things to help the people, but let's hope they increase their measures and get more people to Canada safely and quickly. Guys, I hope the discussion on this particular report and the study was really helpful and fruitful for everybody, and you got something out of it. And I really hope that you guys are keeping safe during COVID, and I wish you all the best, and I really hope to see you soon in Canada.